Hello, everyone. We're going to be doing a news in reverse reading where we make news predictions before they happen with the investigator mat. So we have Echoes as deck 1, Tarot as deck 2, and Whispers as deck 3. I'm going to use the 8 and the 6-sided die. Actually, that was kind of better with that one. No, it wasn't. Okay. As always, this is an energy reading. It's all alleged, my opinion, not facts. Okay, news headline number 1. We're just going to start in box 1 and go through. So which deck? Echoes. Which line? Line 6. I'm going to go ahead and put this over here so I remember that. So we have the agenda pulse. What's the agenda pulse of this prediction? 7 cards. What's the agenda? Okay, so the agenda pulse of news prediction number 1, double cross in custody, confidential source, evidence lacking, anonymous, global operation in reverse, front company. So the agenda behind whatever this news headline is to prove that there's not enough evidence to back up a claim that no one really knows where the claim started from. And this is meant to... So the agenda behind this news headline is to disclaim something that people were talking about, make people realize that it wasn't true by showing that there wasn't enough evidence. So not by showing evidence to the contrary, but just by showing, look, they didn't have enough. It feels like that. And this is meant to get something to not fall apart globally. So, for example, like a global smear campaign that someone wants to correct. Like, oh, they smear campaigned me back then, but I'm going to prove to you they didn't have enough to be able to do that. It feels like that. Okay, so data field. Which deck? Same deck. Line 7 again. The leak marker. Disinformation and blind spot. I didn't pull a number of cards for that one. I just wanted to see how many came out. Disinformation and blind spot. We want to cause disinformation. We want to filter in the belief that a previous smear campaign was not true. Okay. 3 whispers. Shadow motive. What's the shadow motive? Taking back something. Gift and package in reverse. Taking back a burial. Taking away a burial. Taking away an ending. So they're about to come in with some kind of look how good we look about something, specifically in an area where there's about to be a major ending. Oh, wait. Oh, no. Tarot. What line? Lie signal. So how will we know that? Okay, so something where someone or a group of someone's is coming out saying, look at this good thing we did. Look at this. Look at this. which they do all the time, but we're getting to more details. But it's in a specific area where something's about to reach a hard ending. So we're about to reach a final stretch of something where we're heading towards a brick wall. And just in the nick of time, some kind of good news comes out that stops this ending. How will we know that they're lying about the good part? Or misrepresenting what the good part means, if not straight out lying? We can clearly see that something's not getting better. It's just that they're trying to not get trapped by admitting that it's getting worse. Influence field. 1, 2, 3, 4 echoes. I almost dropped the whole deck. And human error and perjury risk are the two cards that I grabbed out. Fear feed. Fear feed. What's the fear feed? Mastermind, prearranged meeting in reverse, and immunity. So the mastermind behind an unexpected meeting that gets them off the hook. Okay, let me sum this up so far. Someone or a group of someone's in some kind of powerful or authoritative position does something bad before. There's someone that's been trying to expose this unsuccessfully because the side that did something bad keeps being able to cover it up. Why does this just all of a sudden feel to be related to Epstein or P. Diddy? Hold that thought. So because there's been enough time where there hasn't been proof of something, now the other side, the side that did something bad but has it hidden, now they feel like enough time has passed that they can do their big one and be like, look, we're in the clear because they haven't been able to prove the contrary yet. But I almost feel like it triggers the other side to then release something that's like, oh yeah, you think we don't have anything? Watch this. So it's almost like there's about to be this back and forth battle between two sides, like in a way we haven't seen yet, where it's like playing extra dirty. But it's also that this can happen. And what this is I get everyone watching so I can convince them that I've cleared my name. This is someone or a group in the political sphere. Can I have one card to that statement? Someone or a group, overheard threat. Yeah. Overheard threat. I just said they're about to start going back and forth like this, and overheard means we're about to hear it, so we're about to see it. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this deck. The shadow contract. Oh, it is the Epstein. It's got to be. Encrypted is the card that came out. How many cards to describe encrypted? 6. Retaliation in reverse is automatically giving me kill shot. Like, you won't be able to come back from this one. You won't be able to retaliate. I don't know what that means. Deleted footage in reverse. There is footage. I just heard a noise and it sounded like the door shutting, but I'm pretty sure my cat is trying to get her ball from under the door. I was like, who is slamming the door? I'm home alone. Anyway, off the record in reverse, on the record. Justice delayed in reverse. So on the record, justice is here. You won't be able to come back from this one. There's footage that you didn't think existed that here it is. It's all locked away. Intercepted call in reverse. So the call went through. The call got to its target. The right person was on the other line or watching. So give me cards about encrypted. You won't be able to come back from this one. What? Deleted footage in reverse. Footage you thought was deleted, that's very much not. On the record, justice is here. The call got to the right person or audience. So the right people saw it. So that last card that I didn't flip over yet. Epstein, is this directly closely related to Epstein as opposed to it being more of like a stretch away? So closely related to Epstein, yes or no? Restricted area. Oh my God. Yes. What a way to confirm that. Huh. Okay. Let's keep going. So someone thinks they are wiping their hands clean from the Epstein thing, and they're about to not be. Let's see. Location grid. Number 1 echoes. Leak path. Oh, okay. So where's the leak coming from? I'm going to see how many cards for this one. 7. Where's the leak path coming from? Bias blindness in reverse. I saw that. Someone who has firsthand eyesight of it. Mysterious absence in reverse. Someone who saw something reappearing. Huh. Someone who saw something reappearing. Confined space. Disputed story. Someone's been in hiding, waiting for the right moment to strike. That's what this is. It has to be. This is like somebody who is privy to information of stuff that happened on the island. Like saw it, experienced the act of witnessing things. This isn't someone dirty. This is someone, I mean, maybe they are, but like someone who at least has some kind of moral compass that they're trying to follow. Or like a revenge compass that they're trying to follow. I don't know. Either way. This would be like someone who has information about that didn't come forward then because they wanted to have proof of the same behaviors continuing even after things blew up. So like the whole thing with P. Diddy, the whole thing with Epstein, obviously, like first arrested and then not here. So somebody wanted to time it. So it's like, oh, even after all that, you're still continuing this behavior. That's what they want to expose. They don't want to expose what was going on back then because everybody knows and nothing's really happening. Really. But and the right audience seeing it could be about us back then. If we were just given more information than we already had, like, oh, this person did something bad, we're like, we know, we're mad about it, but you guys aren't doing anything about it. As opposed to if someone came out now and said, look, they know the consequences, they know the repercussions, they know all this stuff that's happened, and they're still doing this. It feels like that. That's what I'm getting. 4, we need 3 more. Hostile witness, reasonable doubt in reverse. Undoubtedly a hostile witness. I saw this and I'm pissed about it. I don't know. Back entrance in reverse, and I'm coming right in the front entrance. Okay. Update before we go into this last box. Somebody has information from the island. They were not pleased that the right things were not happening. So they're trying to force the hand of people to be like, okay, we have no other choice now. Their way of doing this is to hold and sit on the information that they have from then, that they think, or they know that other people, they don't think that that even exists, right? So that existing plus whatever this person or people are working on to say, look, they still didn't stop. It's new evidence they're trying to get to add to old evidence and then present it at the perfect time so that it actually creates a change or an impact. That's what I have so far. And angry witness, hostile witness. So like, I know things and I'm not happy about what I know. I saw things. I'm reappearing and confined space. I'm reappearing from a confined space. I'm hiding. I'm in hiding. So somebody knows that what I know is big enough that I have to be in hiding because I have evidence to counteract their story about what they're saying about this. And since everyone already knows that and they're not doing the right things, not us, but like the people who can actually do things like above, you know what I mean? Since nothing's really happening with a lot of these powerful people that were in play on the island and nothing's happening. This individual or individuals' gameplay is to say, okay, I'll make everyone listen to me because I'm going to perfectly time the evidence they think that doesn't exist anymore from this, coupled with evidence of the fact that they're still continuing to play in front of everyone's face and do the same stuff that they're saying never happened. Allegedly. My opinion. Okay, last box. Let's see. Reconstruct mode. Box 4, energy. Oh, wait, no. Deck 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this deck. Line 4. Oh. Energy leak. Okay. Same box. Energy leak. Let's see how many, actually. 8. Oh, 4 and 4 is 8. I'm going to put these in 2 groups of squares. Square here and square here. And it's going to be the foundations. There's a foundation on one side. There's a foundation that's being built behind the scenes for this happening in front of the scenes. There's that foundation. And then it's going to leak over. Number 4, right? Yeah. It's going to leak over into what we see in front of the scenes. So left side over here is going to be a square of foundation behind the scenes. Over here, square of how that energy is going to leak out and we're going to see it. Okay, so let's see. Criminal network in reverse. And you can't see this card, so I'm not going to use it because everyone will say I made it up, but it's closed a door in reverse. So opening a door. Cryptic message. No witnesses in reverse. So the foundation being built behind the scenes is in order to expose a criminal network by cryptic message to the masses. Cryptic message to all the witnesses, an indirect explanation. This is like when you just have a video start circulating and nobody can tell where it comes from. And then before you realize it, it's viral and it starts exposing so many things that it's like a domino effect or something like that. I almost kind of got, and I don't really know enough on this topic to speak on it more than what I'm about to say, but I almost kind of got like, if something similar to like QAnon, I don't know how to say that. If something similar to that group or person, I don't really know that much about it, went with evidence to be like, okay, enough is enough, and it exposes something. But in the way that I said, it's like not just exposing something that's like, yeah, we can imagine that, we know that, but it's like, no, it's a sandwich, like, because the bread is what happened before, and that's what we're used to seeing. We're like, we know what a sandwich looks like. Okay, yeah, you're showing us 2 pieces of bread with something in between it. But then they open up the sandwich and it's not just sandwich stuff, it's like gold. But gold, like shiny exposure of what we knew to be true but couldn't prove. Damage control with the White House podium. It's almost like they need, okay, remember how I said about waiting for the right timing? It's like they needed to sit on that evidence that they have from before and time that to come out perfectly so that they can wait for someone to come up and give some kind of damage control so that they can be like, oh yeah, look, you're still actively lying because this was last week and that's what you said right now. It's like that, allegedly, not facts. All right, let's see. So it leaks over into what we see. Of course, it went off the camera. Systematic failure in reverse. I'm not going to use it because it went off camera. Make sure it stays. It's open case. It fell onto the floor. Open case. I'm not going to use it because it fell onto the floor. Let's see. Coerced confession. Trying to force them to have to admit something. Okay, wanting to expose a criminal network by comparing past proof to present exposure in a way that gets everyone's attention and everyone's watching. Coerced confession is the only card we see over here. So in order to force them to try and force them to have to over-explain or justify something in a way that shows the public that they were right, what's the rest of this platform being built that we'll see? Motive clear in reverse, so unclear motives, so bad motives, or no motive. No, it's an ill motive, ill-intended motive. Inside contact. Ill-intended motive. Inside contact. So inside Epstein's circle. Operation cover up in reverse. Uncovering it. Let me get 4, or actually, let me see how many cards. Which deck and how many cards wrap this up? Like, what can we expect to see in the news from this? Like, what will the news headlines look like at first in regard to this? Yes. How many cards? 2 cards. Okay. Last seen in reverse. So what we will be seeing. Oh, I don't know what to do. I want this one. What we will be seeing is suspicious activity. Okay. And person of interest fell on the ground. I don't think I'm supposed to get any more details. All right, let me clean this up and we'll go into another one. 1 minute. Okay. I want to pull a topic first before we start on the mat for the second one. I'm trying out a couple different methods. So which deck? 2. Tarot. Okay, so what's the theme of this second one? Felt that fly right out of my hands. What's the theme of this second prediction? Bad seeds. This kind of feels like literal, like bad seeds related to something religious. Like there's about to be a major news headline related to either the church or the Pope or I don't really think it's like one specific clergy member. So if anything, maybe a group. It's like exposing a bad seed, but it also kind of has the vibes of low fruit being cut or something, a distraction. Like almost one of these things where like, why are we focusing on this now? And then it's like, oh, because it's a distraction. It kind of feels like that. All right, let's see. What is the number 5 is distraction point. 5, distraction point. How many cards? 2 cards. What's the distraction point? On purpose. Truth told on purpose. Yeah, this is like we timed the release of this info for when we needed a distraction. Because even distraction point came out there. Data field. 1, 2, 3, 4. Echoes. Hard proof. How many cards? 5 cards. Hard proof. Vault access, dirty money. It's very direct. So a group or people within the church or religious community being exposed for taking bad money in order for some kind of access. Mistrial, security footage. This is the hard proof. Confidential file in release or in reverse. In release. A confidential file being released on purpose at the right time. So it's a distraction. And within the confidential file is something about someone within the church or group within the church taking dirty money in order to allow someone to access something. You pay me, you get this. That's where we're at so far. Okay. Echoes or whispers. Trigger point. What's the trigger point here? So how do I word this? When these news articles start to break, what's going to be the match that lit the flame? Like, I guess the initial news story or something. Secret government program, deep state, money in reverse. Okay. Trigger point. So it's like the government is exposing something they found within the church system so that they are in the position to go in and correct it. Nope. Tarot. Okay, so what's the story clash here? I'm going to do 2 cards on this side. That's going to be the government story. 2 cards on this side. That's going to be the church, whomever's side of the story. So the government side of the story, I guess I'd say about the church, the government. Magician, 8 of Cups, 7 of Swords. So the government story about the church in this instance. Not upholding their end of the bargain. Not upholding their end of the bargain and making things go away instead. So now what's the church side's narrative? Or what's the church side's story? Because it's story clash. Knight of Cups. 9 of Pentacles in reverse and the World. So didn't uphold government to church side. You didn't uphold your end of the bargain because you let things, some error in procedure or failure to follow through or follow, I don't know, something like that. And then the church's side is going to say, well, it's not everyone. Or you have part of it wrong, or you're misunderstanding. Tarot again. Public script. Okay, so what's the public script? We're going to do the same thing again. Government side, church side. Script is that you can't trust what the other side says. You don't listen to them. You can't trust them. Church's side. Give us the opportunity to show you and or almost like this energy of trust God through us. This is a weird debate battle. Echoes. Power agenda. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Why is this happening? What's the power move here? Just in general, what's the power move here? Arrest warrant, behavioral shift. Trying to instill fear, like, oh, are they coming for me next? Or, Almost like if the government is holding these individuals or this particular individual, whichever it is, from the church side accountable in this way, it's supposed to instill fear in other people. Like, oh, if they're willing to do that to them, they'll come for me too. Mental break. Yeah, behavioral shift. They're trying to cause a mental break. Huh. Tarot again. System design. Oh, this is what's making noise. System design. Why is this being designed? This whole headline. Because looking ahead, 3 cards more. They don't want it to be like it was in the past. 2 cards more. They're trying to pull a wool over our eyes in regard to the battle. A fear tactic. So the government's going to be coming very hard after something related to the church or a group within the church for not upholding their end of the bargain or not following through or something like that. They're trying to make the one side look bad. I almost feel like out of the bad things that are done, whatever is being talked about here isn't one of them. And this is like I don't know, it's like a fear tactic. Like, I feel like we're going to be looking at this headline in regard to, I mean, I guess church and state in some way. And it's not going to make sense. It's not going to feel necessary. I don't know. Okay. Reconstruct mode. So this one again, the outcome shift. Okay, so when this happens, what in the outcome will shift as it pertains to church and state? So we're heading towards a change with church and state. This news headline, whatever this is the kickstart from it. So state being like, hey, church, you don't follow through on this, or you need our help with this because you're not doing it good enough. They step in. It looks confusing to us because why are we doing all this? So when this happens, what outcome are we shifting towards? Matter of fact, how many cards? 2 cards. It fell off the screen. I will use it. Ace of Cups in reverse. So fear tactic. Fear tactic. 10 of Swords. King of Pentacles. Ending of value. Ending of a long-standing tradition. Oh. Which deck? I'm about to wrap up what my face just was doing. Hold on. Oh my gosh. 3 cards. Okay. We are about to see a major change in the dynamic between church and state because they need that to happen before other things can happen, but they need a reason to make that change. It can't just be a change out of nowhere because people will question it too much. So they need to cause some kind of thing to happen, which is what this whole first part of this was about. This state being like, hey, church, you don't do this right. You can't be trusted to do this without our help, because look at this proof that you weren't upholding your end of the bargain, or not following through, or not seeing something through the end, or leaving something all the way not fully addressed. So state is going to say, church, you obviously need us, blah, blah, blah. And there's going to be some like forced intertwining that we haven't seen yet, because there's the whole separation between church and state thing. There's some kind of blurring of the bounds that's about to happen there. And whatever this news headline is, it's the kickoff to it. Because the news headline's not going to make sense. It's almost going to be like, what is this? And it's because it's opening the door for that. Allegedly. 3 cards. Down the rabbit hole. false flag. Yeah, see, it's not. And it's almost like insulting because it's like we brought up all these other issues and nothing happened, but you found an issue that's not even like a pressing issue and you're going to stop the presses because of it. Like it's like that kind of thing. Acting and drama, it's all an act. It's all a show. It's all a show between church and state because they need something to merge and they need us to digest their reason as to why it's happening, allegedly. No facts. Should we do one more? Give me a minute. Let me think of a different way to use the mat to do a reading. Be right back. Hold on. Let me brain this up real quick. Okay. We're going to try this. I'm going to do one of each of the cards from each of the decks in all of the boxes. Trying to think if I want to do it all first. I think I'm going to do it all first. I'm going to lay them all out, so bear with me because I have to show you this so that you can see it uncut. So here we go. Hold on, my phone, it has like 87 text messages in the last 2 minutes. I'll make sure it's not important. Okay. Two came out. We're just going to go with it. Trying to think if I still want to put a whispers in that box then. Nope. So we got bribery attempt in reverse as the only card we can see so far. So a failed attempt to make this go away. There's been a failed attempt to make this go away. Delays in reverse on the bottom. So no delay. This is something that's going to start unfolding. Okay. Entry code. What's the entry code? Legal proceedings, buried truth, Queen of Cups in reverse. Something entry code. What's the entryway to this news headline? So to start out, we have some kind of trial with new information about an old case or new information about something that's already been decided upon, in which there was an unsuccessful attempt to block the flow. The emotional trace. What's the emotional trace? Interesting. So we have the Queen of Cups. Portal 5D, mental break, Page of Wands. This has to be Karen Reed's case. It has to be. Is there any other case I've covered? This feels to be true. This feels true crime, not political. Shanquella? No, I really think it's Karen Reed. Okay. A female in a legal battle. I don't know if I'm calling it a battle. This feels more like exposure on the other side. A female that they unsuccessfully tried to take down is coming back to fight against the other side with some kind of good evidence or something. You tried to break me, now I'll expose you vibes. Feels like true crime. It really does. It feels like true crime, and it feels like something I've covered. Because it has a familiar energy, but I can't place it yet. Britney Spears? No, I don't think it's Britney Spears. Trigger point. So what's going to kick all this off? Snake backstabber in reverse. You tried to end me. I'm coming back to expose you. Prearranged meeting. Impersonation in reverse. 3 of Cups in reverse. So they all ganged up on whoever this is about. I feel like it's a female. They all ganged up on this female to all protect the one snake. This attempt was unsuccessful. And now the female, because she survived it, is coming back to expose the snake. That has to be Karen Reed. It has to be. Let's see what this is. 1, voice read. I just said it has to be Karen Reed. And I got number 1, voice read. Witness interface. Okay, voice read. Hidden missing key. Escape route in reverse. So the hidden key is coming, the missing key is coming, and there's no way out. King of Cups in reverse. For the person really responsible for what happened to John. Impersonation in reverse, snake and backstabber in reverse. I'm going to show everyone that I'm not who you said I was. I'm going to clear my name. I'm going to show you who I really am, not who you tried to paint me as. But I'm going to do that by showing why you wanted to paint me as that, because you had to protect the snake. Because Portal, 5D, and Mental Break and Page of Wands is giving Karen Reed. Like, I'm stressed, but I'm going to keep going because I have no other choice. You're all ganging up on me, but I'm going to keep going because I have no other choice. This one. Number 5. So influence field. What's the narrative loop? Timeline issues. Mistrial. It's got to be Karen Reed. It can't not be. It can't not be. The first one was a mistrial. Timeline issues, mistrial. The first time around, we ran out of time to get what we needed. The moon. Because it was hidden. What was that? Fear feed? No, it wasn't that. Narrative loop. They thought they could just keep giving her the runaround long enough, but it feels like she found or is about to find something much more solid than she's had thus far. Four. So intent core is the power agenda. What's the power agenda? Biology, chemistry, scientific, ethical in reverse, 5 of Wands. That the family came at her in this witch hunt in a way that wasn't ethical. I guess I would say it feels like she wants to do this in a way that not only exposes the truth, but exposes how people knew that what was being spread was not the truth and still kept doing it just because it was more convenient for them. I feel like whatever her team and her are planning is to do it in that way. We don't want to just be like, look, here's the truth. We want to be like, look, here's the truth that people knew and chose to still go after her instead. Allegedly. Location grid. Location code number 1. Fire. Global operation in reverse. Ace of Pentacles. Fire. Oh my God. Location code. What's the opposite of snow? Fire. Global operation in reverse. The world was told that John died out in the cold snow, but fire, global operation in reverse, Ace of Pentacles, which shows the usually the little house in the background. It doesn't on this deck, but sometimes that house in the background. Location code is not in the snow. Number 6, reconstruct mode. Outcome shift. Oh, I'm glad that one came out. Okay, cool. So with whatever Karen has or is working to have, how can that potentially shift the outcome here? Psychic abilities, intuition in reverse, bribery attempt in reverse. That makes sense why that's seen now. Because this psychic abilities, intuition in reverse, we saw this coming, them trying to buy their way out of problems, but they didn't see that it wasn't going to work because they didn't see this move coming. 9 of Wands in reverse, and that's their vulnerable spot. Almost like if anything else they would find a way out of, but there's one thing, if it's brought up, it's safer for them to try and cut the low-hanging fruit or bend the knee or something. And it's like she's close to having that piece on the hook. If I can have cards from John to wrap this one up, what deck? Tarot. How many cards? 6. So if I could wrap this up from John. With 6 cards. Love, truth, and offering being brought by the offerer in terms of communication, walking away from something unfulfilled, dependent on emotions. What is being offered to Karen is just little pieces that don't seem huge, but no one realized that she's been taking every single one. It's like she's been given 1/10 of a puzzle piece at a time. And everyone's like, she'll never solve the puzzle because you can't with like pieces of the puzzle piece. You have to put each piece of the puzzle together as a puzzle. It feels like she has enough of the board of this puzzle where she's about to understand what the image is. So she's not there yet. She still has to keep putting all the pieces together. But once she can see that image, it's a lot easier to find out where all those pieces go. High Priestess. because we had this, they didn't see it coming. All right. I think that's all for this for now. That was a lot. Please remember that this is all alleged, my opinions, not facts. The investigation mat is available on my STAN.STORE. If you go to the merch link, and then it'll take you to my fourth wall. Please remember there's a lot of scammers right now. Ever since the Codex came out, it's like insane amount of scammers. So please do not get scammed. The only way to book or purchase with me is from STAN.STORE/The Reckoning Co. All of my socials, all of my links are all on there. So if there's an account reaching out to you that's not listed on STAN.STORE, it's not me. If you've purchased a reading anywhere that's not STAN.STORE, it's not me. STAN.STORE/The Reckoning Co. is the literal only way, unless you're a member and you're coming to the members live. But if you're in the members live, you're looking at my face and hearing my voice, so you know it's me. But if you are not on STAN.STORE/The Reckoning Co., you are not booking with me. Please remember this is all alleged, my opinions, not facts. Talk to you soon.